sometimes I think you're taking this tanking thing too far. Like, don't you think you're gonna look like, I don't know, a loser? Why would anyone say I look like a loser? Woo! Are you just gonna get hammered? Get me a toaster. Magic Angel Robot from Winnipeg. What the hell are you talking about? This team is ruining my life. Here I am. Tank against the Hurricanes. Come close, my loyal subjects. There is much of which to speak. For I, your tank king, have tidings of great joy and a bit of shame. The Leafs lose 2-1 to the Carolina Hurricanes in regulation, bringing the Hurricanes to within 2 points of the Toronto Maple Leafs in 2 fewer games. Might I also mention the New Jersey Devils beat the Vancouver Canucks 4-2. Saturday night, the Carolina Hurricanes fly to New Jersey to take on the Devils, and oh boy, both teams playing their second game in as many nights. They're going to be super tired. Better not push it. You know what? Just let this one decide itself in overtime in the shootout. In the words of Rick Jeanneret, now do you believe? Someone tweeted me during this game, Steve, how do you feel when the Leafs get scored on? And the answer is simple. Relief. Followed by crushing sadness. I know this is what's good for them, guys. I made a brand new video on sportsnet.ca. You should all check it out. Link in the underbar on why tanking is always a good thing. What about the oil? I explained that. Here's the thing, ladies and germs. Tanking is a lot like kale. It tastes awful while I'm eating it, but I know it's good for me in the long run. When you think about it, this tanking streak is going as painlessly as it could. The Leafs aren't getting murdered every game. They're losing by 1 goal. And in this game, what a lovely story. Brandon Kozin gets his first career NHL goal. That should have been what we all talked about this whole game. But it wasn't, because the Leafs have lost 21 straight games. I made that up. But it sure feels like it. And you know what? You can't take many positives from these losses, but I'll give it a shot even though I'm the tank king. 1 goal loss, that's better than like a 2 or 3 goal loss, right? Pardon my fancy stats. Enough of the math lessons, Dave. You're right, moving on. And for the most part, and I mean this genuinely, I promise, the Leafs are just unlucky. Brandon Kozin almost didn't score that goal because of a pad stack save from a forward. That is some next level voodoo supreme being stuff. And the goals were really just the Carolina Hurricanes taking advantage of a couple missed assignments and a little lucky tip. Daniel Winnick could have gone old school with a wraparound goal at one point, drew a penalty, and Nazem Kadri stopped point blank on a breakaway. Clean break. They're playing well, kind of, but you know, they lost. They lost. So no, we'll go thumbs up for the loss. That's good. And look, what we're doing here with the whole tank thing is a very polarizing topic. Sportsnet's Nick Kypreos was on TV before the game, and he said, I'm coming across as a big loser for saying these things. Don't be jealous, Nick. Party packagers, you can get one of your own. And a lot of people jumped on him, and I mean, thanks for sticking up for me, I guess, but I don't need it because I understand what he means. If you are the GM of this team, if you are the coach of this team, if you're players on this team, you don't want to tank. Again, I explain it better in the video down below, but losing is against your mission. And Leafs management doesn't want to tank. I think it was a couple games ago. The Leafs scored a goal and they showed Kyle Dubas and he was like, yeah! Clarkson got kicked out of the game a couple games ago for that hit from behind, and then they panned to notice and he was just saying words. That kind that get you sent to the principal's office, mister. These people all want to win. But the fact of the matter is, if you have guys with expiring contracts, if you have guys who don't want to be here, if you have guys that you don't want to have here, why not trade them for picks and prospects because your team currently stinks? That's not losing intentionally, that's just logical. Losing is just a byproduct of shedding players from your team, but it doesn't always work that way. This isn't an NHL example, but remember when the Raptors were bad and then they traded Rudy Gay, who was like, I thought their best player, and then they got amazing? Maybe they do an addition by subtraction sort of thing, who knows? See, that's what the non-tank part of my brain is just clamoring onto. Look, wanting the Leafs to lose would be a terrible attitude for management to have, it would be a terrible attitude for the coaches to have, and it would be a terrible attitude for the players to have. The fans, however, I think they can cheer for whatever they want. Like I said earlier, this whole past month, what seems like it's going to be the rest of the season, all of this seems like one big shove some kale and Brussels sprouts and broccoli shake. And that shake is just sitting in front of Leafs Nation, and it looks terrible, smells like fart, probably tastes worse, and is gonna make us barf. But if the Leafs can just stomach it, if they can just hold it down, they might get some of the nutrients they need. And maybe, just maybe, a little vitamin McD. So that's it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Video on tanking and why it rules below. And join Tank Nation. You know it's good for you.